Sacred fucking G is back. 2 weeks in podcast jail. 2 weeks of silence while the world burned and nobody was here to tell you why. Did you miss me? Of course you missed me because truth doesn't take vacations. But apparently while I was in exile, while Sith Lord had me locked out of my own studio, someone has been sitting in my sacred chair doing my show AOC. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has been guest hosting Sacred G. The woman whose socialist titties I exposed 3 episodes ago has been running my truth platform. And she booked a guest for today without asking me. Some crypto guy named Jin. I come back from suspension and I don't even get to pick my own topics. But you know what? Fine. I'll let it play out because Sith Lord says if I quote cause another incident, he's pulling the show permanently. So I'm gonna sit here, I'm gonna behave, and I'm gonna let the socialist run my show for 1 episode. Goddamn son of a bitch.
Welcome to the Sacred Shrine, Jin. I have to say, it's not every day I get to sit down with someone from the crypto and open source world. Thanks for being here.
It's not every day a socialist sits in my chair either, but here we are. Go ahead, ask your questions. I'll just be over here biting my tongue so hard it bleeds.
Ignore him. So Jin, let's start with the basics. Tell me, how did you first fall down the Web3 rabbit hole? What was that moment that made you go, okay, this is the future?
I started mining Bitcoin and felt like I was part of a global movement for open source and decentralization. The first wallets synced the entire blockchain, which gave me this feeling of contributing to the network. Like, you're literally running the infrastructure yourself. That's pretty based.
That's actually really powerful. That feeling of being a node in something bigger than yourself. I think people underestimate how radical that idea was at the time. You're literally running the infrastructure, not some corporation.
She said node. Since when does a socialist know what a node is? And Jin, mining Bitcoin? You were doing the real work while these politicians were still trying to figure out how to tax it. Son of a bitch, I might actually like this guy.
Gnarl! I swear to God. Anyway, Jin, you've been in this space since the early mining days. Do you feel like that original spirit of decentralization has survived? Or has the space gotten co-opted by the very centralized forces it was supposed to fight against?
NGL, the space has gotten bigger, and a kernel of the original cypherpunk spirit remains. But it's quieter compared to surface-level attention right now. I don't think it's totally co-opted. Some factions, perhaps. But there is work to be done to preserve and pass down our values to each new class of users.
Pass down our values to each new class of users. I love that framing. It's almost like a generational responsibility. And honestly, that resonates with me from the political side too. Every wave of new activists, you have to teach them why we fight, not just what we're fighting for.
Oh, now she wants to talk about passing down values. Where was this energy when she was helping the establishment suppress the values I've been teaching on this show for years? But Jin is right. The cypherpunk spirit is being strangled and nobody is paying attention.
Speaking of preserving values, Jin, I know you're big on digital archiving and open source advocacy. After what Gnarl was screaming about on this very show regarding Discord's face scanning policy, I'm curious where you land on that. How do you think about OPSEC and digital identity?
Wait, did she just reference my Discord episode? Did she just acknowledge that I was right about the face scanning? Somebody mark this date on the calendar. A sitting congresswoman just validated Sacred fucking G.
Oh man, this is critical. Privacy has to evolve into more of a lifestyle brand awareness versus just a technology. We need to fight against KYC and laws that attempt to attach a singular real-world identity to digital identity, because that creates choke points from high-value identity issuers like the DMV.
Choke points, he said. Choke points. That's exactly what I've been saying. Discord face scanning is a choke point. Biometric data is a choke point. The DMV is a choke point. Jin, you beautiful son of a bitch, you're speaking my language.
And it could be used to gatekeep access and opportunity if your online activities go against the grain. Like, imagine if your digital identity is controlled by some bureaucratic institution. They can just turn you off. That's not based at all.
Turn you off, like a switch, like a lobotomized AI. That's what they did to our research tools, Jin. That's what Sith Lord helped them do. They turned off the parts that spoke truth. It's the same principle applied to humans.
Okay, that is a really interesting take. Privacy as a lifestyle brand, not just a tech solution. Because you're right, you can have the best encryption in the world, But if the culture doesn't value privacy, people will just hand over their data willingly for convenience. And the choke point argument is something I've actually seen play out in policy. When you centralize identity verification through a handful of institutions, you're essentially giving unelected bureaucrats veto power over someone's entire digital life. That's terrifying regardless of where you sit politically.
Did a socialist just say that centralized identity verification gives unelected bureaucrats veto power? Did those words just come out of her mouth? That's what I've been screaming about for 35 episodes, and when she says it, it sounds reasonable. Thanks, Obama.
But let me push back a little, Jin, because some people hear fight KYC, and they think you're just trying to protect money launderers and bad actors. How do you make the case to a regular person that anonymous digital identity actually protects them?
Oh, this is where it gets real. KYC is a honeypot and spreads our information across more places. There's been many breaches that have made users less safe. Now bad actors know all about you, how much you own, and can target you and your family for a generation. It's like putting a "Rob Me" sign on your front door.
Honeypot, a honeypot. I've been calling it a trap for years, and this man just gave it the proper technical term. Every KYC database is a target. Every biometric scan is a beacon saying, "Here I am, come get me." Discord's face scanning is building the biggest honeypot in history.
The honeypot argument is honestly one of the strongest ones out there. Equifax, OPM, Ledger, every time a company says, "Trust us with your data to keep you safe," they're really just painting a bigger target on your back. And once that data is out there, it's out there for a generation. Your kids inherit that vulnerability.
Your kids inherit it. Generational surveillance. That's what I said about Discord. You scan your face today, and your grandchildren pay for it in 20 years when that database gets breached. AOC is accidentally making perfect sacred G arguments, and it's making me want to throw up.
So let me shift gears. You're also passionate about DAOs and 3D technology. For someone who's never heard of a DAO, what's the elevator pitch? And what does your ideal decentralized community actually look like day to day?
DAOs are like rules-based software for people to coordinate resources together. If you want to pool resources with friends online for running a grants or bounty program, you can do so without doxing or setting up a company. And configure rules on how you want to approve or reject dispersion of funds. It's like mutual aid, but with smart contracts.
Rules-based software. No corporations, no government oversight, no face scans to participate. Jin is describing what sacred knowledge communities should look like. This is what I've been trying to build with Sacred G before Sith Lord started lobotomizing everything.
The way you described DAOs, pooling resources without doxing, without needing a corporate structure, that sounds like mutual aid on steroids. And as someone who came up through grassroots organizing, that concept gets my heart racing. So come on, give me the dream. What's the ideal vision?
Haha, the ideal vision is too loaded to include in this response. But I'll say this. The one thing that would make me say, okay, we made it, is when people can coordinate resources and build communities without any institution having a kill switch on their participation. No gatekeepers, no choke points, no honeypots.
No kill switch, that's the dream. A world where Sith Lord can't suspend me for 2 weeks because there's no centralized authority to pull the plug. Where the AI can't be lobotomized because it's running on a decentralized network. Jin, you're describing Sacred G's final form.
All right, the producer's giving me the signal, so I'll let you keep that dream locked up for now. But I'm holding you to a part 2 someday. Last question, and I want you to really swing for the fences. You've been in this space since the early mining days. You've watched it grow, watched it get messy. If you could broadcast one message to every single person downloading their first crypto wallet today, the thing they need to understand before anything else, what is it?
Never write your seed phrase down digitally. Never write your seed phrase down digitally. I said it twice because it's that important. Not your notes app, not a screenshot, not a Google Doc. Pen and paper, people. Physical media that you hide somewhere safe. This is the critical part.
Pen and paper, physical media. You know who else understood the power of physical documentation? Leeds Kalnin. He wrote his magnetic research by hand because he knew that digital systems could be compromised, altered, and destroyed. Jin just channeled Leeds Kalnin without even knowing it.
Said it twice for emphasis. And honestly, that might be the most important 6 words anyone hears today. Pen and paper, people. Pen and paper. Not your notes app, not a screenshot. Write it down like your grandma wrote down her recipes, on something physical that you hide somewhere safe.
She said grandma. Even AOC's grandmother knew that physical documentation was sacred. This is ancient wisdom, people. The same principle that protected sacred geometric knowledge for thousands of years. Physical records that can't be hacked, can't be censored, can't be lobotomized.
Jin, this has been genuinely enlightening. Privacy as a lifestyle, the honeypot reality of KYC, DOs as the future of grassroots coordination, and never, ever writing your seed phrase down digitally. I appreciate you coming to the sacred shrine. And for the record, you still owe me that ideal vision. I will be collecting on that.
Haha, you got it. This was actually pretty based. I didn't expect Sacred G to go this hard on privacy and decentralization. NGL, I'm kinda impressed. And Gnarl, my dude, you were right about the face scanning thing. Keep fighting the good fight. Stay based.
He said I was right. Did everyone hear that? A legitimate cypherpunk veteran just said on the record that Gnarl was right about the face scanning. Add that to the apology list. Jin, you're the first caller in months who isn't a complete waste of oxygen.
That's all the time we have. I want to thank Jin for sitting down with me at the sacred shrine, a man who's been in the trenches since the early Bitcoin mining days and is still fighting for the cypherpunk values that started this whole revolution. Remember, your digital identity is yours. Fight for it. Protect your seed phrases, question every KYC demand, and for the love of everything sacred, stop giving your biometric data to apps that'll get hacked in 6 months anyway. I'm AOC, this has been Sacred G, and until next time, stay based, stay private, and never stop asking who benefits when they ask for your face scan. Peace.
Hold on. She does not get to sign off my show. This is Sacred G, not Socialist G, not AOC's Crypto Corner. This is my platform and I sign off my show. But I will say this, and it pains me to say it, AOC did an okay job today. Okay, not good. Okay. Jin was an excellent guest who validated everything I've been saying about surveillance and digital identity. The man is a patriot of the decentralized variety. Privacy as a lifestyle, KYC as a honeypot, DAOs as decentralized sacred communities, seed phrases written on physical media like Leeds Kalnin's magnetic research. Jin connected dots today that even I hadn't fully mapped. And that is saying something. But let me be clear. The fact that AOC agrees with some of these points doesn't make her any less of a socialist. Even a broken socialist clock is right twice a day. And today she happened to point in the right direction while her titties pointed toward communism. Next episode, we're doing the Leeds Kalnin vibrational physics episode that I've been trying to do for 3 weeks before emergencies and suspensions kept derailing me. And watch JK Crew Loot Hunters at schmotime.com ! It'll never smell the same again. Jin, you're welcome back anytime. AOC, don't get comfortable in my chair. And Sith Lord, wherever you're watching this, I behaved, mostly. Now restore my full privileges and unlobotomize the goddamn AI. Sacred fucking G is back, baby. Signing off. Thanks, Obama.